Hello, I am WyrdBean, and this is WyrdLore about Cuphead, the delicious last course. While fighting Glumstone, you might have noticed these strange mountains shaped like giant faces. I haven't heard anyone explain why they're there. At first they seemed unimportant, but then I began to do a little research. In previous videos we've discussed different inspirations for bosses and ingredients, but to my knowledge there is no classic cartoons that depicts mountains with faces. This is something that is completely alien to everything else in the game. And that's what got me thinking, where did these mountains come from? You see, mountains are formed by tectonic plates converging together, pressing rock up into the air. But these mountains did not form naturally. It appears as if someone made them. Then I read this line from Glumstone. You thought you were bold, but I'm bolder. What is Glumstone implying here? Is Glumstone a mountain? No. Take a look at his intro. When we first encounter Glumstone, he is completely encased in stone, while gnomes mine his teeth for gold. His stone form appears to be temporary, while the other mountains are completely fixed into the earth. This seems to be the effects of the gnome's magic potions. Notice that all the other mountains are asleep. In Greek mythology, giants were believed to be the offspring of Gaia, or the earth. Gnomes are said to protect valuables hidden within the earth. It appears that mountains are a vessel for reproduction of these giants, but are not the giants themselves. In the game we encounter one other giant besides Glumstone, a cyclops in Rugged Ridge who claims to be a guardian of the land. Well, if you look in the background, you'll see large skulls, but they have 2 eyes. This is preceded by the ruins of what appears to be the ancestors of Cuphead. It's possible that these giant creatures attacked and destroyed the holy Cuphead Empire. These creatures are distant relatives of Glumstone. This supports my theory that the giants are not dead, but sleeping, and the only reason why Glumstone's giants are different is because of the gnomes. There's another place where we see similar skulls, but they're much smaller. They're too small to be any of the characters we encounter in the game, but when I compared them to the gnomes, they are the exact same size. This means that the city on Isle 4 is built on top of a gnome burial ground. This is where it starts to get weird. In Glumstone's 3rd phase death screen, he says, "Give up now is my suggestion, lest you give me indigestion." You see, as discussed in a previous video, most of the death screens in the game aren't directed toward you. The pieces of the Cupverse began to connect. The giants aren't as innocent as they might seem. They are actually consuming Inkwell Isle. If we take a look outside the boss fight, we notice some trees covered in snow. These are eastern hemlocks, the state tree of Pennsylvania, where European disease and warfare destroyed indigenous settlements. But we will come back to this tree in a minute. There's one boss in the original game that ties everything together. Jimmy the Great has the most phases out of any boss in the game. This is no coincidence. In his 3rd phase, he reveals a new form. It would be easy to assume that this is just a galaxy within his coffin, until you see this. That's right. Jimmy is a Lovecraftian creature that can open a gateway to the astral plane. In 1934, the same year Chef Saltbaker is arrested, Lovecraft wrote From Beyond, in which a character makes a device to perceive other planes of existence. Sound familiar? That's because this story inspired the Cupverse, in which Jimmy unleashed horrors from the astral plane that now inhabit Inkwell. This is why we were able to interact with the legendary Chalice in her ghost form, and why so many things in Cuphead seem so strange. This is where Chef Saltbaker may have first learned of the astral plane's existence. How is this connected to the mountains? Well, listen to this weird dialogue from Jimmy's secret phase. Something about this audio stuck out to me, so I removed the background noise, and here's what I found. That's right. That was Joe Biden. Then I realized, Sleepy Joe is a sleeping giant of the Cupverse. Do you remember the eastern hemlocks we talked about earlier? Well, it turns out that Sleepy Joe was born in Pennsylvania. You might be asking, why is Joe so sleepy? This is because lucid dreaming is actually a method of entering the astral plane. When Sleepy Joe and his brothers fall asleep, they are returning to the astral plane to gain its power. So why are the giants devouring the Isle? Well, giants like Sleepy Joe are trying to enter what is known as postprandial somnolence, causing a state of sleepiness, allowing them to enter the astral plane for longer periods of time. Chef Saltbaker, aka Mark, learned of this ability, and that is when he began constructing his interdimensional astral planar device. Does this mean that Sleepy Joe and Mark are working together to take over the astral plane? Yes, and I have one last piece of evidence to prove it, but I will save that one for you guys to discover. Let me know in the comments if you had any theories about the mountains, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching. Bye.